Did Jesus die on Good Friday? The most obvious answer, yes, of course he did. The Bible tells us he rose from the dead on the third day on Sunday morning. You don't need a calculator to figure this out. He died on Friday, Saturday, and then rose on Sunday. There's your 3 days. On the third day, he rose from the dead. Now, there are those who oppose this idea based on Matthew chapter 12, verse 40, where Jesus said, as Jonah was in the belly of the fish for 3 days and 3 nights, so the Son of Man must be in the heart of the earth for 3 days and 3 nights. So they argue, you can't get 3 days and nights on a Friday. Well, what they don't understand is that's a colloquial phrase. People understood that colloquial phrase to mean 3 days, not literally 3 24-hour days and 3 24-hour nights. No one understood that to mean. So what people are doing is they're taking that passage literally rather than a colloquial phrase, and thus they end up having to overrule a lot of the Bible, because the Bible tells us he rose on the third day, not afterwards. I'll give you a few scriptures to verify this. Luke 18, verse 32 and 33. They will mock him, insult him, spit on him, flog him, and kill him. On the third day, he will rise again. When? On the third day, not after the third day. Here's another one, Luke 24:7. The Son of Man must be delivered in the hands of sinful men, be crucified, on the third day be raised again. Again, when? On the third day, not afterwards. Here's another one, Acts 10:39 and 40. They killed him, hanging him on a tree, but God raised him from the dead on the third day and caused him to be seen. The Bible keeps telling us over and over again, it was on the third day. Now, on top of that, the Bible tells us that this Passover was a special Passover. You know why? Because Passover was on a floating day according to the Julian calendar. It was supposed to always start on Friday sunset, and they would celebrate Saturday as the Passover. But because the Jews were under the Julian calendar, Passover was a floating day. But on this particular day, it was a special Sabbath. Why? Because it so happened that the Julian calendar coincided with the Jewish calendar of celebrating Passover on Friday when the sun set, so they would have Saturday to celebrate it. On top of that, you might remember when Jesus rose from the dead on Sunday, he came to some disciples and they said to him, don't you know what's happening? That these things took place 3 days ago? In other words, they are affirming again that it was 3 days from the events of the crucifixion to his resurrection. So if he did not rise on, well, he rose on Sunday, but if he did not die on Friday, then what day did he die on? Well, we know he was crucified under Pontius Pilate. And we know from records that he ruled from AD 29 to AD 36. And we can go back and find out when did the Passover land on these days? Well, you have AD 30 and AD 33 in which the Passover started on the sunset on Friday, which is when Jesus died. Any other days, you have a Monday, you have a Tuesday, but there's one other day that the critics argue. It's Wednesday, they say. They say it was March 24th, AD 34 on a Wednesday evening that he died. Well, friend, you have a problem. First of all, you don't have him rising on the third day. And you have more than 3 days and 3 nights on a Wednesday. But you have something else that's even more problematic if you believe Jesus was crucified on a Wednesday afternoon and then the sun set. Because if he died on Wednesday, then what would Thursday be? It would be the Passover. It was a rest day. But what would Friday be? It would be no Sabbath. Why did the women come on Friday to finish the burial? Why does the Bible say on the first day of the week, the women came to the tomb? Why didn't they do it on Friday? See, in other words, there is no other possible day for the death of Christ to have taken place except on Friday. You can be assured, my brothers and sisters, Jesus died on Friday.